All right, so we'll be starting this new chapter that is related to algebra. Now, first of all, the first thing that we're going to do in algebra is learning how to expand brackets. So, expansion of brackets. Now, expanding brackets, what we do is that every term inside the bracket is to be multiplied by whatever is outside the bracket. By what I mean is that if we have A outside the bracket and we have B plus C inside the bracket, so your A, which is outside the bracket, will be multiplied with every term inside, which means it will be multiplied with B first and then with C. So the answer that you're going to be getting is AB plus AC. All right.
Okay.
Now, moving forward with expansion, how expansion is done with numbers and your alphabets together is, for example, you've got a question that says 5x 2y plus 3. So according to the rules of expansion, you're supposed to multiply everything that is outside the bracket with every term inside the bracket. So in the first step, you're going to be multiplying your 5x with 2y, which gives you 5 into 2, 10, and x into y will give you xy. Plus, the sign that is between the two terms will be taken forward. So you get a plus sign, and then your 5x will be multiplied with 3, which gives you 5 into 3, 15, and your x comes as it is. All right. Now this is how you're going to be expanding brackets. Let's do another example for your expansion, a more complicated one, that is 3p minus 4 minus 4. So in this case, you will be getting 3 into p, that gives you 3p, minus sign comes out as it is, and 3 will be multiplied by 4, which gives you 12, and the minus 4 comes as it is. So in the next step, since these are both constants, you can add or subtract them. So 3p and minus 12 and minus 4 is going to give you,
Minus 16.
yeah. So the answer that you're going to be getting is 3p minus 16. Now let's move forward to more complicated terms that include our exponentials. So if you have a question that says a cube multiplied with a cube plus a square b, so a cube multiplied by a cube. Now we'll be applying our index here. We know that since we have the same alphabet or the same base, our powers are going to be added. So it gives us a 6 plus. Now in the next one, when we're multiplying a cube with a square b, now a3 plus 2 would give us a5, and our b will come down as it is. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Oh, all right. Now, moving forward with our chapter, the next thing that we're going to be doing is expansion of two brackets or expansion of two pairs of brackets. So, expansion of a pair of brackets. Now, in expansion of a pair of brackets, what you're supposed to do is you have to multiply all the terms of the first bracket with all the terms of the second bracket. So all the first terms of the first bracket will be multiplied with all the terms in the second bracket. Now, applying that in our questions is x plus 2 and x plus 1. Now, how you're going to do is, for this reason, since you are supposed to multiply each term in your first bracket with each term in your second bracket, we're first going to simplify this expression and write it as, we'll take the first term of the first bracket, that is x, then we'll take the second bracket again, and then we'll take the second term of the first bracket, which is plus 2, and then we'll take the second bracket again. Do you understand that?
Um. Yes.
So you're
I have a
taking,
question.
yeah, sure.
Why can't we just solve it directly?
Okay, how?
Like we're just gonna like in our brain we're just gonna do it like we're gonna multiply x by x and x by 1, so it's gonna turn into
Okay,
x squared
x
plus
squared plus x.
x.
All right.
and then there's +2. So we are gonna do the same thing with the second, with the.
Yeah, sure. You can obviously do that in your mind as well, but I'm just telling you how you're doing that in your mind. I'm just writing another step for that. All right.
Oh, I get it.
You can obviously do that in your mind. I've got no issues with that. So you get the same answer that you just told me, which is x squared plus x plus 2x plus 1. And in the next step, since we've got two terms in x, so we'll add them. So that gives us x squared plus 3x plus 1. All right,
Yes.
which will be the same answer that we'll be getting.
Okay.
So now, what if we've got minus sign in between? So if we've got, for example, x plus 7 and x minus 7, so in this case, this minus sign will be taken as it is, and you'll be doing the same thing. So now, if we do that in the mind, we'll be getting x squared minus 7x plus 7x and minus 49. And you know that minus 7x and plus 7x would be giving us 0. So we just cancel them out and we get x squared minus 49. All right.
Okay.
Okay. Let's move towards another example. So if now numbers are also included in our question, if we have 3 plus 2y and 4y minus 6, so we have 3 into 4y, which gives us 12y. Then we have 3 into 6, giving us minus 18. Then we have 4 into 2 and y squared minus 6 into 2, 12y. And now we know we have 8y squared. We have two terms in y, which is minus 12y and plus 12y. So it will be cancelled. So you get 8y squared minus 18. All right.
Can you repeat?
Okay. So wait. We have 3 plus 2y multiplied with 4y minus 6. So we have 3 multiplying with 4y, which gives us 12y. But then we have 3 multiplying with minus 6, which gives us minus 18. Then we have 2y multiplying with 4y, which gives us plus 8y. And then we have 2y multiplying with minus 6, which gives us minus 12y. So now we have, sorry, this is square. So we have 8y squared. We have plus 12y. We have minus 12y. We have minus 18. So we know plus 12y and minus 12y can be cancelled. So we have 8y squared minus 18 as our answer. All right.
Okay.
Okay. So this is how we're going to be expanding our bracket. Now, the next thing that is the opposite of expansion is factorization. Now, what is factorization? We already know by the term of a factor that factors are the numbers that multiply to give us any number. For example, if we say that we write down the factors of 4, so they'd be 1 into 4 and 2 into 2. So 1, 2, and 4. They're all the factors of 4, which means that they can be taken out common from 4. For example, if you have 4, you can also write it as 2 into 2 or 1 into 4. All right.
Yes.
So now coming towards what is the term factorization. Factorization is the opposite of expansion. Since we uh, remove the brackets in expansion, we add the brackets in factorization. So if we had an expansion question that was 5 multiplied with 2x plus 3, it would give us 5 into 2x, 10x plus 15. However, if we have a question that is 10x plus 15, we're going to go into the reverse. We're going to take the highest common factor out between 10 and 15, which is obviously 5, and we get 2x plus 3 in the answer. So it's the complete opposite of expansion. All right.
Okay.
Okay. So moving towards another example for factorization, if you have 6y minus 3, how are you going to factorize that?
3 bracket open, 2y minus 1 bracket close.
All right. So that is how you're going to be factorizing it. Moving towards
Yes.
another complicated example regarding including our um, exponentials. If we have 2a squared plus 3ab minus 5ac. What is the highest common factor of them? What are you going to take common in this?
A.
Yeah. And inside the bracket, you're going to be left with?
2a plus 3b minus 5c.
All right. So that is how you're going to be factorizing it. Now, there's another thing that is involved in factorization that is known as our group factorization. So what is group factorization? Group factorization is when we've got four terms and we group factorize them in such a way that we're left with two brackets. So we did our expansion of two brackets, or the pair of brackets in which we expanded two brackets to come up with four terms that were simplified to get two terms. So now we're going to go the opposite way, in which if we've got four terms, for example, you have 6x plus 3 plus 2xy plus y. So you're going to group factorize them. You're going to factorize the first two terms first and the last two terms in another group. So from 6x plus 3, you've got a factor of 3,
Yes,
and
3.
you've got 2x plus 1 inside the bracket. And from 2x plus y, you've got the common y, and you've got 2x plus 1 inside the bracket. Now, since the two brackets are the same, you can simply write them together, which is 2x plus 1, and then take out whatever is outside the bracket into another bracket, which is 3 plus y. All right?
I have a question.
Yeah.
If these two brackets 2x plus 1 and 2x plus 1, if they one of them is not the same, that means your answer is incorrect.
Yes.
Okay.
In group factorization, you're always going to end up with two brackets. So if they're not the same, you're never going to get two brackets. You're going to be getting the answer that is your first step, just this answer, right?
Okay.
Let's do another example for our group factorization, that is ab minus b minus a plus 1. So in the first one, we have our common factor, that is b,
B.
and we're left with a minus 1, right?
Yes.
And in the second one, we don't have any common, so we're going to take our common as 1.
1.
So now here, are we going to take the minus sign or the plus sign?
Minus.
Yeah. So you're going to take minus common just because you're going to take the minus common, so your a becomes positive and your 1 becomes negative, because our sign outside the bracket always changes the sign inside the bracket. So now we have the same bracket, so we can group factorize them into b minus 1 and a minus 1. All right.
Okay.
So this was all about our expansion and factorization.